Hi, this is Megan, and welcome to Karmaky's Doing Something Good. Each week, we interview thought leaders, change makers, and awesome human beings are doing their best to make the world a better place. Today, we're happy to interview Jeff Miller, the president of the Jimmy Miller Foundation. Hi, Jeff. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So, please tell us about the Jimmy Miller Foundation.
Yeah, the Jimmy Miller Memorial Foundation is named after my brother, Jimmy Miller, who was a local South Bay resident, longtime surfer, LA County lifeguard. For 35 years of his life, sort of lived the traveling surfer's dream. He traveled the world everywhere. He was kind of a trailblazer for a lot of other South Bay surfers around here. He taught kids how to surf. He made a business out of his passion for surfing and started one of the first surf camps and surf instruction groups here in Manhattan Beach called Camp Surf, which is still around today. Right around his 35th birthday, he had a physical injury. He hurt his shoulder. He tore his labrum, which kept him out of the water. And along the same time, maybe had gone undiagnosed for a while, but none of us had ever noticed it, had mental illness, depression, maybe something a little bit more serious kind of hit him all at once. And his coping mechanism of being in the ocean was no longer there because of his physical injury. Coupled that with his mental state, and after 6 months of going, something's a little bit off, to, oh my gosh, we need to get help, to putting him into treatment facilities, and about 6 months later, he took his own life. So devastating, crushing to our family, obviously, to his friends, to a lot of the South Bay community that he had been a part of. And his memorial service, which we held down at the beach, was just this amazing outpouring of support and love and those things. And when someone passes, you kind of want to do something to carry on their legacy. We didn't know what that was going to be for us for a little while. We thought about doing scholarships for lifeguards, which he was an LA County lifeguard. We thought about doing something with a Surf Radder Foundation, something at his high school, and nothing really fit. I met with a friend of mine, Carly Rogers, who at that time was doing her master's thesis at USC, writing about ocean therapy and how specifically surfing can help people heal and feel joy and accomplish other goals in their life. And she was tailoring it at that time to special needs kids. I started talking with her and said, well, this sounds an exact program that could help carry on my brother's legacy. We formed the foundation with a pretty simple mission statement to use surfing and the ocean to help heal mental illness and physical injury, and came up with a great board of directors and launched our first pilot program here at the beach at El Porto with a group of foster kids from Hollywood. And from that point on, it's just grown and grown. And we now work with children's groups in Los Angeles, as well as injured Marines and military personnel down at Camp Pendleton.
Yeah, tell me more about your work at Camp Pendleton.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been transformative both for us as a foundation, for a lot of us personally, and for the crew we work with down there. So right around midway through the conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan, there's all these guys and girls coming back injured physically, both mental and physical. And we saw a need that our program could probably help. It doesn't hurt that Camp Pendleton is only an hour and a half away and has a tremendous ocean resource. It has an empty beach. It has great surf. It has wonderful facilities. And so after getting through a fair amount of red tape with the military to get our pilot program going, we launched our first pilot program down there going 4 years ago. And it was just one day that we try it out and see how it goes. And we work with the Wounded Warrior Battalion down at Camp Pendleton, whose mission is to help guys returning with injury either get back to active duty or transform and go out of the military. We launched, and after that first day, we had guys coming back to us saying, this is the best therapy I've ever had. And so from that point on, we've been brought in down there. We are down at Camp Pendleton twice a month, usually every other Tuesday. We have a crew of regulars, and then every week we have new guys. And what we get from the people at the Wounded Warrior Battalion is this is working. This is helping guys find a way to transition their life and to heal.
Right, right. Do you personally go and help out?
Yeah, as much as I can. When we first started, I was at every one. Now I have since that time, I've had two kids and jobs and those wonderful things that keep you away from some things. But I try to get down there as much as I can, and it is you heal as a volunteer, and especially for our family, that's something that we've learned more. There's like the participants get a lot out of it, but the volunteers who come down and see these guys and hear their stories and share their stories about how surfing has helped them and push someone into their first wave, whether they're walking down with crutches or it's an injury you can't see, like post-traumatic stress to the brain. Um, the volunteers who we've had come down are just they come back floored, and it's like a drug. They want more and more. It's ocean therapy for the volunteers too.
How do you get to be a volunteer?
Yeah, all you need to do is go to our website and click on a button and say, I want to become a volunteer, and we will, ask you a few questions and give you the information to come down. We are a 100% volunteer organization, so the more people we have, surfers are great, lifeguards are great, people in the water are great, but so are people to help organize lunch. So are people to help cheer on, especially with the kids groups here in LA. A clap, a high five makes a difference. So we have volunteer opportunities for all kinds of people, and that both at Camp Pendleton and in Manhattan Beach.
Oh, great. And also, Karmaky, we were a small part of the Jimmy Miller Memorial Surf Fiesta, and we wanted to know, tell us more about that event.
Yeah. So the Jimmy Miller Surf Fiesta is our biggest fundraiser of the year. It usually is the second Sunday in October. The last couple years, we've had just amazing surf and amazing weather. October in Southern California is a fantastic thing. And it's a unique surfing event and fundraiser that's aimed at people who never do surf contests. So it's a team format where you have levels starting with people who've never surfed on the same team with professional surfers. And all you're doing is going and out and catch one good wave. It's a team competition. You get to ride a bunch of different boards. It's not real serious, although towards the finals, people obviously, their competitive streak fits in, and it wouldn't happen without great sponsors. We have awards for things like the best performance by a female, the best performance by a grommet, the best performance by a family, the Beach Lounger Award, which is someone who may not surf but just has the best beach day of the year. And a lot of local surf shops, and then all the surf brands that have been a great help in supporting that event. We follow up the surf day with a great party and silent and live auction at Sangria, and that's our big fundraising event for the year. And to be blunt, it kind of helps support our entire year of program. Is that one event? So we do other fundraising as well, but um, it's also a thank you to our volunteers. It's to get their kids involved. For a lot of people, it's their first surf contest ever because it's not real serious, and your dad can come out and help you push into a wave if you're a little girl. And most winning teams have like a 7-year-old on it at some point. It's great.
Oh, that sounds fun. At Karmaky, we believe one person can make a difference. Do you agree, and have you seen this through your work?
Yeah, I think one person can make a difference, and a group of people can make even a bigger difference. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, down at Camp Pendleton, some of our volunteers, they have had such a connection with the person that they're helping surf that outside of our foundation events, they've become friends or surf buddies or support group. And I think some of those relationships have not only helped healed, but I think they've helped save lives, legitimately saved lives from people whose mental state was not in a great place before they started surfing and before they met a friend who they could trust, who's maybe outside of their normal field of friends, almost a stranger who they got to trust because of a somewhat a traumatic experience going out in the ocean and learning how to surf, and it's sort of like going into battle for your first time at a similar adrenaline rush. So you have that sense of camaraderie. And our day is more than just surfing. It's actually therapy where after the surf session, we sit around and we discuss, how that felt, what that felt like, their fears beforehand, how they can apply this new skill or that new sense of stoke that we always talk about to other parts of their lives. So it is more than just a day surfing, which is great. Everyone feels better after a surf. Life's better if you surf, but we take it a little step further.
Great, thank you. And our last question, What do you hope your legacy to be? What do you want to be remembered for?
Me personally,
You personally?
I want to be remembered for being a very good dad. That'll be number one. If I leave some other legacies around, like someone who helped other people and carried on his family legacy, that's great. But I want my kids to be proud of me.
I agree. All right, thanks for talking with us, Jeff.
Thank you.
And what is your website if people want to learn more?
Yes, it's www.jimmymillerfoundation.org. We're also on Facebook and Twitter and all Instagram and all those wonderful places that you can find us. Just search for Jimmy Miller Foundation.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Be the good.
All right, bye-bye.